The Earth, our planet, a speck of dust in the galaxy, which is itself but a speck of dust in the cosmos. And yet, billions of humans call it home, including most everyone you know. This is their story, and it is ours as well. It could be any town you know, and somewhere, some way, someone is pondering the meaning of it all. How did life begin? What gave man the genetic composition to attain higher intelligence? Is the universe in entropy? And so, on this day, a young man searches, perhaps for the very first time, for the answers to the really big questions, the ones we all wonder about. Dad, he asks, I've been wondering, do you and Mom do it? Gosh, Billy, as a matter of fact, we do. On a regular basis. I reckon it's time you and I had a man-to-man talk. Come with me and I'll show you exactly how it's done, the right way. Thanks, Dad. You're the greatest, said Billy, and he meant it too. And so, with childlike wonder, Billy learned that his parents, like so many others, do it regularly with a videocassette recorder. They rent or buy popular movies, instructional films, and so much more. It's boggling. So many do so much with this modern-day miracle, and yet it is one of the most abused appliances of our generation. The sad fact is, we take it for granted. Shouldn't you boys have some food, says Mom. Of course not, says Dad. Naturally, Billy was so excited, he had forgotten his appetite altogether. We're learning the right way to use the videocassette recorder. But thanks. All right then, I'll leave you men alone. Women. Ha 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 ha. And so, we proudly invite you to join Billy on his journey of exploration and discovery in this, the ABCs of your VCR, the questions many of you have been too shy to ask, answered in a frank and concise manner for the betterment of society. As Billy's father understands, it's the responsibility of every person who uses a videocassette recorder to understand its proper handling. For example, says Billy's father, this is the head drum assembly. It spins at 1,800 revolutions per minute, and these are the heads which do all the work. They're as small as the tip of a pencil. Ingenious? Yes, and yet it's shocking to think how often such delicate electronic technology is abused. Mishandling the machine, for example, can lead to serious injury and occasionally even death. But most often, it merely shortens the lifespan of the equipment. The best advice is to use a little common sense, and remember, this is no game. By now, you probably have many questions. That's natural. Let's move in for a closer look. First, a little terminology. This is the top. This is the bottom. These are the feet. A VCR, like all of us, should have its feet firmly planted on the ground, TV set, or shelf. This is the tracking control, which is used to make sure the picture doesn't have squiggly lines. It is the best friend a tape could have. And of course, VCRs always need plenty of breathing room, so make sure the air can flow freely underneath it. It's easy to forget that videocassettes are not forever. They take special care to last, and all of us should take a moment to learn the 5 simple rules of cassettology. First, storage. Always store cassettes on their edge to avoid tape edge damage. Second, cleanliness. Dirt and grime can be transferred into the machine, so before you handle cassettes, be sure your fingers are clean. Third, protection. Always keep the cassette in its protective sleeve to keep it fresh and clean. Fourth, moderation. Store your cassettes in a clean area at room temperature. Placing your cassette on the dashboard or in the trunk of your car may make it somewhat more difficult to watch. Science recommends you find a safe, temperate place to store your favorite tapes. Avoid extreme heat, cold, or humidity, and if you can't, at least allow your cassette to sit at room temperature for 1 hour before use. And fifth, floor. Never set cassettes on it. Static electricity can attract unwanted foreign debris. Even worse, it can stay on your tapes. And the side effects can be disturbing. It's simple to remember the 5 rules. Just think of the word SCUMP, and the rest will be easy. Go ahead, you try it. Of course, like so many things, there's more to this device than simple SCUMP. Here at the Bronfman Institute, they've devoted a lifetime to advanced studies in electromagnetic photodiagenesis. Here, a group of dedicated researchers conduct experiments which help man understand exactly why it is that occasionally cassettes don't seem to work so good. Now, one of Germany's leading scientists explains how to prevent such phenomenon. He tells us that cassettes should be inserted, then rewound before playing. This prevents the tape from being threaded during the program. Further, after you press play, adjust normal tracking control for optimum picture and hi-fi audio. Thank you, Doctor. Outside, on this sunny Bavarian morning, a theory is tested. That VCRs are more likely to damage a tape during eject mode. Therefore, one should avoid ejecting during program segments. Yes, it seems true indeed. Inside the Hall of Disaster Readiness, cheap, crummy tapes are inserted into VCRs to test the effect they have on the equipment, proving once again that poor quality tapes are more expensive in the long run. Elsewhere, in microsurgery, a skilled doctor attempts to repair a mutilated tape. His efforts are hopeless, because once a tape is broken, it is broken forever. Scotch tape, glue, rubber bands, gum, or any other adhesive known to man should not be used to splice tape back together. Now, Dr. Plesner, the director of the Institute, is going to teach Billy a few more little-known VCR secrets. It is in this room where every known model of VCR is tested for durability, size, width, capacity, and dimension. Wow! Now, Billy, don't be like other children. Always rewind the cassette to the beginning when not in use. This helps reduce distortions at the start of the tape as it is wrapped around the head drum assembly in the VCR. That's great advice, Dr. Plesner. Also, try adjusting your tracking control to correct picture or hi-fi audio distortions. If tracking doesn't help, try another tape. If it's okay, the original tape is probably damaged. Gee, that's terrible. Yes, it is. Next, Dr. Plesner is going to show Billy something most people will never see in their whole life. This is the basic skeletal structure of all normal videocassette recorders, even the one you're watching right now. The membrane is smooth, covered by thin layers of plasma and cellular reticulum. This, however, is a view of a horribly disfigured VCR. In this case, the owner attempted to use special effects over long periods of time while watching his tapes. It could have been search, slow motion, or still frames. Any one of them, if used for more than a few seconds, could put too much strain on the tape. As you can see, the results are less than pretty. Gosh, Dr. Plesner, there sure is a lot to VCRs. Yes, Billy, there is. You know, speaking of VCRs, we don't get too many small boys like you around the Institute. It's a shame. Come this way. I have something very special to show you. This is the clean room, where there are fewer than 2 dust particles in every cubic meter. It is the most perfect place in all the world for storing a VCR. The clean room is the heart of global VCR research, for it was here that many vital discoveries were first discovered. In 1947, for example, Dr. Hans Binke discovered the forward button. This breakthrough was followed in 1962 when the small blinking 12 was discovered by Ernest Fleck. And today, 28 years later, that blinking 12 remains on the front of virtually every VCR. What's that, Dr. Plesner? That, my boy, is the central nervous system of a VCR. You see, Billy, like all of us, a VCR needs regular maintenance. So, every 18 to 24 months, you should take the machine in to be checked up at a service center. Yes, Billy, VCRs should be cleaned every 6 months for high-use non-clean environments or every 12 months for normal use. In this way, we could prolong its life, possibly for all eternity. Billy! 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 What? Where am I? Home, son. Home. I was dreaming, wasn't I? Gee, it's so good to see you all. Mom, Dad, Scarecrow. You know, there's no place like home. With that, Mom knew Billy was okay and soon would be playing with all the other VCRs on his block. It's true. There's no place like home. And while our homes in this country enjoy the VCR on a casual basis, there are some places that take it much more seriously. In fact, in some countries, the VCR is considered sacred, and its heritage, folklore, and techniques are taught from an early age.
このマトローナ VCR, この島なフェスタフォーワード。Jam torna na slow sepida, kung tatamang kinsiya mo na tape screw up, nung kambasin niya. Dummy.
This training continues throughout one's adult life.
Kunde na may kendo siya magray, tambok do tasni kontan ko diya no tumugray, katampo no netin konskris kiso do stika bakta, hasn yara mo gurun niya na stengdong nung kro do bay tayo mo, hodo nara.
Of course, we may not take our VCRs as seriously as we ought to, but that doesn't stop us from contemplating or conjecturing or ruminating on the meaning of it all. On the contrary, thinking people still ask themselves and those around them the big questions. Is that how you and Mom really do it? Well, Billy, it's only natural for a boy your age to wonder about such things, so let's ask Vic the VCR to fill us in on the facts.
Always look on the bright side of life. You can do it! Never let a little dust get in your way. Always rewind and keep your hands clean, and your VCR will be here to stay. A VCR is only human. Watch your tracking or it will get worse. But if you manage to show a little kindness, it'll fast forward your life without a pause or reverse. A VCR is only human, so watch it, we do it, and you can do it too.
And so that's how it's done. May Billy and his family and all the families of the world remember the ABCs of their VCR. Follow them closely, and you'll never be alone in the dark. Good night, everyone, and remember, watch it. We hope you have enjoyed watching the ABCs of your VCR. Let's take a moment to review the do's and don'ts of VCR and tape care you have just seen. Keep your VCR in a well-ventilated, clean area. Have your VCR serviced by a technician every 18 to 24 months. Only buy and rent high-quality name-brand cassettes. Only buy reputable name-brand cleaning cassettes. Rewind your cassettes before playing. After pressing play, adjust the tracking control to correct any picture or hi-fi audio distortions. This is normal. Avoid ejecting the cassette during program segments. Rewind the cassette to the beginning when not in use. Avoid prolonged use of special effects at any given spot on the tape. Always store cassettes on their edge. Always handle cassettes with clean hands. Always keep the cassette in its protective sleeve. Always store cassettes at room temperature. And never try to splice a broken tape. A public service message from Rank Video.